So I got done watching Spider-Man No Way Home and it was pretty great. The movie has a lot of hype and promise of being a different type of Spider-Man movie, and I honestly feel it lives up to all of that. The movie is what we expect in terms of where the last movie left off. The entire world knows who Peter Parker is, and we see how that affects his life. On that aspect, I feel it shows enough of a realistic portrayal of people knowing and having differing opinions about how they feel about it. One half supports him, the other half hates him, which really echoes back to what Norman said in the first Raimi movie. Now, while we do see some of the effects of this, we don't really pay attention to the effects for that long as we switch up to the multiverse angle of the movie. And this is where I think things kind of divert and essentially becomes a separate movie where Peter and his friends encounter multiverse villains and multiverse Spider-Men to help fight them. This all culminates in a final act that's Doctor Strange form a spell that makes everyone forget Peter, thus making him truly alone in the world, and opening doors to possibilities and where future movies can go and do. What I like about this movie is how totally different it feels from the last two movies. Homecoming had a bright upbeat tone up into the final act with enough bits of seriousness to help establish that this Spider-Man is just a kid trying to beat the villain. Far From Home was a vacation movie that didn't go all out as much as it could have been being dark, but did have enough to work with when it did. Here, the entire movie feels more dark, gritty, and depressing, and that's with good reason. Peter's life falling apart is portrayed well, the fight scenes are done even more well and looks more brutal looking, the death of Aunt May essentially leaves Peter broken, and the final ending establishes Peter as truly alone in the world. This feels like the right way to have Peter as a character and as Spider-Man grow up and mature from being a teenager to an adult. Other highlights of the movie includes the villains. Seeing Doc Ock, Green Goblin, and Sandman are amazing and brings me back to that point in my life where the Raimi trilogy influenced my love of the character. And seeing Electro and the Lizard was good too, because I feel the writers were able to give the characters justice from the Mark Webb movies. And of course, the return of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man was the ultimate highlight of the movie, as you're able to see how all three of them can work off each other and compare their stories with each other as well. Tobey Maguire really steps back into the role like it's nothing and really shines in his moments. You can feel the love that he has for the character in his acting and helps make up for lost time. Andrew Garfield is also really good here, and I feel that he and Jamie Foxx really got their redemption here. They're good actors, they just need a better movie to do it in. Every other character in this movie also has moments to shine when they do, and it fits where they need to. For the most part. So while there is good here, what about the bad? Well, like I said before, this one movie feels like two movies. One is about Peter's life after Secret gets exposed, and one is a movie about fighting multiverse villains. I wouldn't finally stuck with just one because I feel there are moments in this movie that happen that we could have stuck with for a little bit longer instead of being pushed to the side to make room for other stuff that happens in the movie. And I feel we could have stayed a little bit longer on certain aspects so we can really establish it more. It really wants to get to the multiverse fight, and I really can't blame them, because that was a good fight scene. I just wish we could have stayed at certain aspects of the movie, like Peter's school life, how the Outer Public sees him, and more action with the multiverse villains and the multiverse Spider-Man. The movie did cut stuff, so I'm pretty sure we'll be seeing more of that in a home video release. In the end, Spider-Man No Way Home does what it does as a Spider-Man movie, while also offering itself as a far more serious deep dive into Peter's character that really takes him into his own next phase into adulthood. With how the movie ends, I am genuinely invested to see where this Peter, who is technically dead to this world, will go moving forward. In a phase 4 where prequels and unrelated movies that establish new characters is their own story, No Way Home feels like a genuine next chapter to Peter's MCU story that also helps push the MCU forward.